God bless America. Going overseas tomorrow. Welcome back to Soup. And today, I'm brainwashing you. The MCU, the house that Iron Man built. We all know the iconic Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, the weapons manufacturer gone rogue, superhero / vigilante, determined to make the world a better place besides just blowing it up. A heartwarming and hopeful story about people who are embedded in such a broken system, but can still be redeemed. Well, Iron Man's origins are actually a little bit more interesting, and were written with a little bit deeper of a meaning. Real quick, I just wanted to acknowledge a comment I got on my Batman video. This guy right here said that I should do a video reviewing the merits between the new Superman movie and the new Batman movie, and I wanted to say, and actually did say, that's a great idea. And I am actually working on that idea, and I wanted to encourage all of you guys to just comment whatever ideas you have. I'm very open to suggestions. I really want to hear from you guys. And with that side tangent out of the way, let's buckle up and talk about if Iron Man is really just thinly veiled war propaganda. In March of 1963, Marvel Comics dropped a new kind of hero into the pop culture bloodstream. A billionaire genius in a tank suit known as Iron Man. His first debut was in Tales of Suspense issue number 39, and his creators, Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby, didn't just come up with him over lunch. Well, they might have been at lunch, maybe, but there was a lot more thought put into it than that. This was actually a calculated move shaped by politics, technology, and a dash of Cold War paranoia. The early 60s was a very tense time. The US and the Soviet Union were locked in a global staring contest, each stockpiling enough weapons to blow up the world a few dozen times, because you never know when just once is enough. Technology was seen as humanity's savior and possibly executioner. Stan Lee decided to create a character that was that walking contradiction, part savior and part walking arsenal. Tony Stark was inspired by some real-life moguls like Howard Hughes. Brilliant, eccentric, and with just the right amount of, I might build a rocket or a casino today. But here's the twist. Stan Lee admitted he wanted to challenge readers. In his words, I thought it would be fun to take the kind of character people hate and make them like him. So he made Stark, a weapons dealer, playboy, and oh yeah, prisoner of war in Vietnam. His origin story had him building a super suit, but not to fight crime, but escape captivity. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it's the exact same plot in the 2008 Iron Man movie, except with a more modern twist. Instead of Vietnam, Tony Stark is captured in the Middle East. But, you know, basically same thing, but his origin story has that same flavor just with the Vietnam War. So from the start, Iron Man wasn't just about flashy gadgets. He was an embodiment of America in the 1960s. Confident, innovative, and always ready for a fight, preferably with something that could explode. In his farewell address in 1961, President Dwight D. Eisenhower warned against something called a military-industrial complex, a cozy relationship between defense contractors, armed forces, and politicians. Basically, it works like this. The more wars you have, the more business you have, the more profit these people make. And if you think that sounds like a setup for a Marvel villain, you're exactly right. And in the comics, Stark Industries is basically just Lockheed Martin, but with better branding. They crank out jets, missiles, laser cannons, all for national security, of course. And although in the comics, Stark does most of the heroic fieldwork himself in his Iron Man suit, a lot of the Stark Industries tech is sold to the US government. If there was a Cold War weapons wish list, Stark Industries checked every box and threw in a box of flamethrowers for fun. When Marvel rebooted Iron Man in 2008, they didn't shy away from these things. In fact, they leaned into them hard. The movie opens with Stark in Afghanistan, charming a few soldiers, running in a Humvee, and also demonstrating his Jericho missile, which could delete a zip code. He's the rock star of weapons manufacturing. And then boom, he literally gets a taste of his own product. Nothing like shrapnel on the chest to make you rethink your business plan. And when he gets back to the States, he decides to shut down production. And we see that Tony Stark actually has a heart and conscience about the things that his industry are doing. And in my opinion, this is the most propaganda-y part of the film and maybe Iron Man as a whole. Because in real life, the heads of the military-industrial complex couldn't give a As long as the money's flowing in, they don't care how many innocent lives are taken. And this movie, even if just subconsciously, implants the idea that if they knew about injustice going on with their products, they would immediately put a stop to it. But obviously, they wouldn't. And in reality, the heads of the military-industrial complex are a lot more like Obadiah Stane from the Iron Man movie, selling to both sides under the table without a second thought of the innocent people who are being killed, all to keep business booming. Literally. And of course, even after Stark quits the weapons business, he can't just open a bakery. His Iron Man suits are basically just wearable next-gen fighter jets, so he becomes his own military contractor. He doesn't even get out of it. calling Iron Man war propaganda isn't even that far-fetched. And he's not the only military propaganda that's been used in the media. Not by a long shot. When people hear the word war or military propaganda, they probably think of the Uncle Sam posters with the "your country needs you" on them, telling you to enlist. But in modern media, it's way more subtle. And honestly, way more effective. Today, it's about making the military look cool, powerful, and morally flawless, usually while blowing stuff up in slow motion. And I'll say firsthand, it kind of worked on me. I'm a little bit of a, of a gun guy. I play milsim video games and airsoft. I kind of like that stuff. But hey, I still got civilian status, so take that, government. Can't get me that easy. But the US military actually has an entire department dedicated to work with Hollywood. They loan ships, planes, and etc. The only catch being they get script approval. That's why in Top Gun, they never accidentally bomb a wedding. That's also why in the years following the 1986 release of Top Gun, reportedly, Navy recruitment went up by 500%. My thumbnail wasn't even clickbait. And the sequel in 2022, same deal, just with more G-forces and nostalgia. And video games do the exact same thing, man. Franchises like Call of Duty give you photorealistic firefights designed with military consultants. That kind of stuff blurs the line between entertainment and a training simulator. And while you're racking up kill streaks, you may not also realize that you're racking up an appreciation for military hardware. I know I certainly have. In fact, the DoD, Department of Defense, has actually funded the creation of more than one Call of Duty game, literally funding games showing military action in the hopes that more people would enlist. And then there's Iron Man. His battles are fun, colorful, and full of quips, and let's be real, they're just glossy ads for advanced weapons tech. The films make it look thrilling to be a one-man drone strike without any moral baggage. And that's the trick of modern propaganda. It doesn't demand or guilt you into serving the country, it makes you want to. And all of this begs the question, so what? What do we do with all this? I personally have a few friends in the military, and I can't say that playing Call of Duty as kids made them enlist, but I also can't say that the militarization of entertainment didn't contribute to that. And I have a huge respect for our troops, at least the troops that understand the gravity of what they do. And we need people to make sure that our country is safe. But also, influencing entire generations just to serve in the military so the US can make questionable decisions overseas, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And the only thing that I think we can do is just be aware of it. Don't romanticize war or military service. My dad was in the Army, and when I was a kid, that's what I thought I wanted to do too. But clearly I didn't do that, because the more that I learned about actual military service, the more I realized I'm probably not cut out for this. It's not the sexy explosions, saving the day, running through gunfire, not getting hit. That's not what military service is. It can be dangerous and grueling, but most of the time, especially recently, it's just boring. It's just another job. Especially these days without as much military combatants as we used to have back in, like, say, World War II or the Vietnam era. And I don't want to burst anyone's bubble here, but Iron Man's not real. I hate to break it to you, sorry, it's just not real. Well, thank you for joining me for the first time down the Marbert rabbit hole. During the research for this video, I actually saw Iron Man in a light that I hadn't before. Not necessarily bad, but definitely interesting. Let me know if I should do more videos about the real-world impacts of combat characters. I think that's actually kind of cool, especially after doing the Superman videos. The Batman video is a little different just because it wasn't about like any real-world aspects. It was just about the movie itself. I really do have a deep interest on how certain characters and pieces of media affect society and the way that we think about things, so let me know if there's anything else that you've noticed like that, and I would love to do a video on it. But thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, liking, any of the stuff you want to do down there. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.